Hi, this is Bett. Welcome to this chair yoga class. Today I'm going to be demonstrating chair yoga exercises that can be done with no props, and most of them can be done from a chair. There's a few optional ones that you can do standing, but I won't be doing the whole exercise. So this is just basically a quick review of some things that you can do from a chair, and then you can do them at a more leisurely pace on your own. So the first thing we're going to do is close our eyes and do some breath work. We're going to check in with our breath. We're going to do a 4-count box breath. So the 4-count box breath is through the nose, and we're always going to be breathing through the nose unless otherwise directed. So we're going to count in for 4. Hold the breath at the top for the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4 through the nose. And then hold the breath out for the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you continue that inhale for 4, hold the top of the breath for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold the breath out for 4. And you can do this between 2 and 5 minutes, depending on how much time you have. So let's do a few rounds together, just so you get the hang of it. So in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold out for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do one more round. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hold out for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So once you've done your 4-count box breath, then we're going to check in with our emotional state. We always want to know how we're doing. And there may be multiple emotions happening at any given time, and so you want to notice the different emotions and name them as granularly as you can. So we usually take about a minute to notice the emotional state. Breathing into any manifestations of that emotion in your body. It could be tingling, fluttering. This helps us become more emotionally intelligent. All right, and now we're going to turn our attention to the mental state, noticing the thoughts going through our mind. So are we worrying about something? Are we planning something? Taking about a minute here to notice the mental state. If you notice you've gotten distracted, go ahead and bring your mind back to the mental state, noticing the thoughts. And now we're going to set an intention. So when we go through life intentionally, we are much happier. So we're going to practice that right now in this class, setting an intention for this practice. All right, good. We'll open the eyes. And so we're going to start with tapping the heels. So again, today I'm just going to be showing you these exercises. Normally, we would be doing this heel tapping for 5 minutes. And heel tapping is great for burning blood sugar and fat. They did a study that showed that if you do this for 4 hours a day, it is very good for your blood sugar regulation and for helping burn fat. It's activating the soleus, which is the calf muscle. All right, so normally I would do this again for 5 minutes. So if you want to do that right now, you can pause the video, put on a timer, and go ahead and do that. All right, so after we do this for about 5 minutes, then we're going to push through the heel, so lifting the leg up. Here we are activating the calf again, the hamstring, which goes from the knee to the sits bone, and the thigh. So we alternate pushing through the heel, really shoving that heel hard out, which is going to activate the back of the leg. And again, this would be done for 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how much time you have. Really noticing the muscles activating. You can even touch them with your hands to really feel those muscles activating. So we inhale up, exhale down. Everything we're doing is going to have the mouth shut, and the nose will be used for breathing. This helps us regulate our nervous system, and it slows down and warms the breath, which lets us use the oxygen more efficiently. All right, again, if you want to do this, you can go ahead and pause the video and then do this for maybe 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how much time you have today. Excellent. Now we're going to do leg lifts. So coming to the edge of the chair, you can hold on to the arms of the chair, or if you don't have arms of the chair, you can hold to the edge of the chair, the seat. Either way, we're going to take the legs out wide, and then we're going to lean back and lift and lower. I would say doing this from 1 minute to 2 minutes is probably enough. It's probably too hard to do for more than 2 minutes. Inhaling up, exhale down, again through the nose. To make this harder, you can open and lower the open and close legs. So you can do it out like this, or lift up and go out. You can do very different variations. So I recommend you pause the video and do this for another minute to 2 minutes. And great job. Excellent. So the next thing we're going to do is elbow to knee. So there's going to be a lot of variations. If your legs are very, very weak and very, very tired, you may not be able to lift the knee very high. Maybe your shoulders are really tight, or you have a shoulder injury, and so you can't really turn very much. I'll show you what it looks like if you can touch the knee. So here we are working the shoulders, the neck, the traps, and the core, the side of the body, and the psoas, which is the front of the hip. So as we lift the knee, we're using that psoas. So we inhale one, exhale the other. Always through the nose, keeping the mouth shut. I would recommend 1 to 5 minutes of this. Depending on how tired you are, you can always take breaks. So go ahead and pause the video and do this for as much time as you can, taking breaks when you need to. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap that up. Awesome. So next we're going to do seated cat-cow. So seated cat-cow, I'm going to show you from this side. You don't need to change your chair. So seated cat-cow is working all the muscles of the back, and it looks like this. We exhale, arching the back, bringing the head down towards the pubic bone, and then we inhale, pushing the chest and the belly forward, letting the head fall back gently. I would say 1 to 2 minutes is good for this one. So if you want to pause the video and do it, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Excellent. So now we've really warmed up the whole spine, and now we're going to do a twist. So the twist can be done with the eyes open or closed, depending on if you feel like you might get dizzy. So the twist looks like this. Taking the hand behind you, inhaling to the left, and then exhaling to the right. So we're doing this very slowly and very mindfully for about 1 minute to 2 minutes. Working the side body, the shoulders. Make sure you sit forward in the chair so you're not hitting the sides of the chair or the back of the chair. And again, go ahead and pause the video. Keeping the mouth shut. And then when you're ready and done, go ahead and restart. Okay, good. Excellent. So we're going to just take a moment to rest, closing the eyes, noticing how we're feeling, breathing in and out through the nose. Now we're going to work on the arms. So we're going to take the arms out to the side, starting with looking at the right hand. We're going to look up at the hand as the hand comes all the way up. At the top, we're going to bring the hands, the palms together. And then we're going to trace the left hand down, exhaling through the nose. Look at the left hand as it comes up, bringing the palms together. You can press the hands together as much as feels safe on your shoulders, and then exhale down. So we're going to do this about 1 minute to 3 minutes. This can become very tiring, especially if you have not done this before. So be mindful of that. You can pause the video and do it for as long as feels safe. Tracing the hands with the eyes. Don't let the eyes and the hands get out of touch. All right. Last one. And then go ahead and rest. Excellent. So now we're going to work on our neck. So with this one, we're going to do this one together. You don't need to pause the video. So I'm going to take my right hand above my right ear. This is my right elbow. I'm going to let that right elbow fall down towards the ground. And then I'm going to press my hand to my head and my head to the hand. I'm going to do 5 deep breaths. Through the nose. And 5. Coming up slowly, always moving slowly whenever you're doing anything with your neck. Taking the left hand above the left ear. Dropping the elbow down towards the left side of the ground. 5 deep breaths. Pressing the hand to the head, head into the hand. And 5. Coming up slowly. We're going to now interlace the fingers, taking them behind the head, pressing the head into the hands and the hands into the head. 5 deep breaths. And 5. Coming out slowly. Taking the palms of the hand above the eyebrows. Never squish the eyes. Bringing the palms above, and then bringing the forehead down. Elbows are down towards the ground, and then we press the hands up into the head, head into the hands. 5 deep breaths. And 5. Excellent. So we're strengthening the neck in all directions. Now we're going to work the side of the head. So I'm going to look over my right shoulder. I'm going to bring my left hand up to my left cheek. So again, I'm looking over the right shoulder as far as I can, and then I'm bring my left hand to my left cheek. Now I turn my head towards the left. So I'm pressing into my hand. Once I get all the way over to the left, I take my right hand up, press on my right cheek, turn towards the right, and then I just keep going back and forth, always pressing my face into the hand. Face into the hand. So let's just do this together. No need to pause the video. We'll just do a handful of them, maybe 10. We're working the side of the neck. All right, one more. Great. Excellent. So again, let's close our eyes and just notice how we're feeling. Breathing through the nose. Excellent. So this next part is optional for you. If you really do have a problem with the hips or with the knees or with the ankles, and you know that standing is not going to work for you, then you can just watch this part or skip it. but I'm going to go ahead and show some standing exercises. So we're going to work on our balance and standing. So you can have both hands on the chair or just one, and then we're going to practice standing on one foot. So we're going to do this together for a whole minute, and you don't need to pause the video for this one. So I'm going to bring my weight, shift it over to the left leg, and then I'm going to take my right either on the toes, or I'm just going to lift it gently, but I want to have my weight on the left leg, and then we're going to stand for 1 minute. So why are we doing this? We are strengthening our feet, our ankles, and we're working on our balance. As we go through life, we need to work on our balance. This will help us keep us from falling, help us feel more steady and strong as we walk. One thing to be aware of is if the knee is overextending. So always keep a tiny micro bend in that standing leg to make sure that you're not overextending the knee. Breathing through the nose, take a break if you need to. A minute is a very long time to be standing on one leg, especially if you haven't done it in a while. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and come out, shake it out. All right, and then we're going to do the other side. So if you want to, you can move the chair, or you can just stay there, whatever feels better. Okay, so now we're going to do the left or the other side. So bringing the weight onto the other foot, either lightly lifting the other foot or gently pressing the toe down, whichever one feels more steady. And again, we're going to stay for 1 minute. So breathing. So first of all, notice the whole foot, rounded, strong, the resilience through the whole leg. Notice if this leg is significantly different than the other. Our bodies are very different on side to side. Take a break if you need to. We're almost done. So this is something you should practice every day, working on your balance, standing on one leg. All right, 3, 2, 1, and shake it out, shake it out. All right, we're gonna work on our posture. So the first thing we're gonna do is sit back down. So go ahead and come back into your seat if you were standing. And we're gonna work on just a little bit of posture awareness. So the first thing to be aware, by the way, you don't need to change your chair position. I'm just going to show you from this side, is that we always want to sit on our sits bones. So the sits bones are the bony protrusions at the bottom of the hips. We have one on each side, and we want to sit in the middle of them. So let me show you, and you can do it with me, what it feels like to roll to the back of the sits bones. So the tailbone tucks under, and then our whole spine turns into a curve. So go ahead and try that with me. And then try typing an email or driving or texting in this position. So you'll notice that the neck, it has a lot of tension because the head is trying to be held up. And then these trapezoids at the top of the shoulders can get very, very tense. The chest is collapsing and it's getting squished, so it's really hard to breathe. So go ahead and try to breathe. Feel how squished the chest is. And then notice how tight and over pulled the thoracic spine in the back is, the shoulder blades. Okay, so we do not want to sit like this. This is very bad for our posture, it's very bad for our breath, and it's collapsing our organs and making it hard to breathe. So let's go ahead and roll up. So now we're sitting in the neutral, and now let's try the other direction of rolling to the front of the sits bones. And you can see now we're over tightening the psoas at the front of the hips, and maybe the head falls down. And again, we're collapsing and making it very hard to breathe. So just try, take a breath or two here and notice how this feels. Also, the poor head is getting so much pressure. Now let's go ahead and come up and sit straight. So we want to sit in the middle of our sits bones, not to the front and not to the back. This will let us have a nice straight posture. Next, let's notice the chest. So there's three ways we can have the chest. The first is collapsed. So the shoulders come down, the neck comes down, and again, we're collapsing the poor ribs and the lungs. So go ahead and try to take a breath. Notice how hard that is. And then let's sit up straight, and then let's try the other way. So the other way is something that we hear a lot. Push your shoulders back, push your chest out. Now this is also very hard on the neck and the chest. So overstretching the chest out, pulling the shoulders way back, is also going to be really hard on the neck and the shoulders, and you're going to have a lot of tension. Instead, let's have a neutral pose where the shoulders are right above the hips and the chest is not collapsed nor pushed out too much, and instead we have balance. Now this is not a stationary pose. Instead, we're going to be always gently moving, making small micro adjustments. And what we call this is mindfully sitting. So when mindfully sit, we're always making small adjustments to make sure our head feels safe and unrestricted, that our shoulders feel like they're in the right spot as we type our emails or drive the cars or text. We're sitting up nice and straight, just gently moving and not being rigid. Okay, so that's the first thing about sitting properly. And then let's talk about standing. So either you can join me or you can watch, depending on if you have any injuries right now. So I'm going to demonstrate standing mindfully. So when we stand, we want to stand in the middle of the feet and with our hips straight. So notice me having this habit. So if I roll over to one foot and then I'm leaning over like this, what I'm doing is overstretching these muscles of the hip. What we want to do is instead stand straight with a micro bend in the knees. So go ahead and try it with me if you are able to stand. Go ahead and let the hips fall out one direction, fall in the other direction, maybe fall forward or fall back, and then go ahead and try to bring all those things in alignment so that the feet are right underneath the hips, the shoulders are above the hips. And I'll show you from the side. So this is another habit that we need to focus on, mindfully standing, so that we're not overstretching the muscles of our legs. Now, this is, by the way, this is a lifetime of practice. The next thing we're going to do is stand and walk. So when we walk, we want to walk on the feet in the full foot. All right? So we walk with the full foot. You can either do heel first or you can do toe first. I'll show you what they both look like. So toe first, or you could do heel first. Either way, it doesn't actually matter. What matters is rolling to the sides of the feet. So I'm going to just show you something a little exaggerated, but if you were to be rolling out to the feet or pointing the toes in different directions, what you're doing is wearing down the knees and the hips improperly. And that's going to cause a lot of knee issues and hip issues. The other thing you can do is point them inwards. So these are obviously a little bit exaggerated, but you can see that if you have these little patterns, you're going to be wearing down the knees and the hips, and those will wear out very quickly. All right, so that was a little demonstration of standing and sitting. And we're going to go ahead and sit back down in our chair, and we're again going to do the 4-count box breath. So make sure you're comfortable, close the eyes, and this time we'll do the whole thing together. We'll do 1 minute of 4-count box breath. So in for 4, hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, out for 4, hold the breath out for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, out for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold out for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping your mind focused on the counting and breathing in and out through the nose, and continue at your own pace. All right, one more. Excellent. So now we're going to check in with our emotional state, naming anything coming up for you with the most fine-grained labels possible. So I'll give you an example. I'm hungry, but I'm also a little bit worried about the food that I'm preparing, and I'm also excited about it. So those are a mixture of different feelings that are all coming up for me. So go ahead and think about you and what your emotional state is right now, and label it with the most fine-grained labels possible. And now let's turn our attention to the mental state, noticing the thoughts going through your mind, the category, the types of thoughts. And now we're going to think of something we're grateful for. Gratitude is extremely powerful. So think of something, could be as simple as the chair you're sitting on, or that there's air in the room that you can breathe, or something more specific to your life, your husband, your wife, your child. Go ahead and think of something you're grateful for, and really feel that joy that you think of when you consider that item or person. And feel that joy throughout your whole body. And now let's remember the intention that we set for the practice today, practicing being intentional in our lives. Excellent. So we'll bring our hands together and close with an Om. Inhale. Om. May the benefits of this practice benefit you and everyone you meet. Namaste. All right, so today's class was really just a mini class, a reminder. I hope that you paused the video and did the exercises on your own for as long as you want to. This class is here for you anytime you want to watch it again to get refreshed on how to do the exercises. I'm Bett. I hope to see you around. Click subscribe, share with a friend, and click the like button. Namaste.